I think what's confusing is that there's been a lot of information pushed out there about the new laws in Pennsylvania related to hazing, but the reality is the institutional policies related to hazing haven't changed. So there's a lot of information out there right now, and there are two parallel systems that I think are being talked about, and I think that's where the confusion comes from. My name is Chris Mulvihill. I'm the Associate Dean of Students at Lehigh University. I've been here for 19 years. The rules haven't actually changed that much. The definition hasn't changed. What has changed is actually society's willingness to tolerate it. Society's not as willing to put up with behavior that's detrimental to the health and safety of students as they may have been 5, 10, 15 years ago. What it does is it mandates certain things that institutions have to report, certain ways that institutions are required to enforce hazing, kind of. But mostly what it does is it changes the criminal law related to hazing. The other thing that it did is it updated the state's amnesty law related to alcohol. What's been said is that no new member activities are allowed to involve alcohol, and new members aren't allowed to be at activities that have alcohol at them. So right now, that's the interim action we've taken this semester because we're concerned about the health and safety of our students. So yes, I can conceive ways that first-year students can consume alcohol that isn't hazing, but if it's related to new member activities, it's going to violate policy. Or if they're new members of organizations, they're at organizational events that have alcohol present, it's likely going to violate policy. To answer the question as to who would go to jail would depend on a whole load of questions. It would depend on what the facts of the case were, what the relationship to the people involved in the situation were. So I can't answer who would go to jail, but I can tell you who could be held accountable through the conduct system. If we had an organization, any organization, fraternity, sorority, athletics club, musical group, that participated in hazing, the organization can be held accountable, and then also those members that are responsible for that activity, including the officers, could be held accountable. The university's definition of hazing says that consent doesn't mean it's not hazing. So new members can say, yeah, I want to do that. We've had new members in the past really want to do stupid stuff. That doesn't mean it's not hazing. Eliminating hazing may not ever happen. What we need to do is we need to make it unacceptable, and we need to decrease the risk to our students. I think we've been successful at that, but I don't think we're done with that yet. No, I don't. I think that if Lehigh University wanted to decrease the presence of Greek life, it would decrease the presence of Greek life. I don't know what Greek life is going to look like in 10 years when we've got new residence halls, we've got 1,000 new students from different parts of the country with different experiences. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I don't think it's about decreasing the emphasis on Greek life. I think it's about making our Greek system part of a different Lehigh than what Lehigh has been like. It would be helpful if the student population understood that we're trying to make changes to protect this asset that is our Greek system. What we don't want is something to happen where our hand is forced to decrease the emphasis on the Greek system. Where, last year when we closed 5 chapters, it was painful. Nobody wanted to close 5 chapters last year. What we wanted to happen was have a strong and thriving Greek community. But when organizations look at policy and say, we don't care, we don't have a lot of choice there. So my advice to students that are in the Greek community is to understand that we're trying to do the right thing to protect you, protect your chapters, and protect our community.